In this video, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the very ugly with my most recent Roku trade. I'll tell you what, if you love the action, you're going to love this video, and you're going to be interested to see where I'm at with this very ugly trade. Stick around. I know you're going to like this one. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, hey, look, I haven't been behind the mic in over 2 weeks, and I'll tell you why. I was visiting my mom's last week, had that guy's weekend in Pittsburgh, had a chance to see the Pens play. I'll tell you what, always love when the Penguins beat the Flyers. Love the time spent with my buddies. That guy right there looks like he could play on Sundays. Now, today I'm going to show you the good, bad, and the ugly with regards to my most recent Roku trade. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love the volatility. We're going to talk about my most recent trade and where I'm at with Roku. But before we get going, I want you to notice, man, 2020 is starting out on fire. Remember last year I did not meet my goal of 55,000? This year it is 55,000 again. You know, until I get over that hump of 55,000, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. Right now, a lot of trades in December closed out in January, so it's setting me up for a great 2020. The stock market is trading sideways to higher. I'll tell you, I love being in the markets. I always love talking about using the cover call strategy for that guaranteed monthly income. But the thing I really like about it is how we can have many ways to have success in a single trade versus that buy and hold swing trade mentality that I used to lose all the time. I don't lose all the time anymore. I'm absolutely loving the fact that 2020 is starting out as good as it is. Now, before I get going, I want you to go to the upgraded CTB dashboard. This video and all videos are going to be sponsored or brought to you by the upgraded CTB dashboard. I'll tell you why. Because that is the ultimate covered call screener dashboard spreadsheet. You will not find anything like it on the planet, in my opinion. I'll tell you what, I put a lot of work into it, and a lot of the feedback that I receive from all the members is that they are impressed with the work I've done. Hey, look, go over there, check it out, see if you're interested, and if you are, sign up. And I even give you a free month. And while you're there, I want you to check out the free newsletter. I'm putting it together. Man, this month's topic is going to be a good one. It's going to have that exclusive video in there, so I don't want you to miss out on that. Now, before we get to that Roku trade, just want to show you the breakdown so far for this year. This is what blows me away with this strategy. Remember, 3.5 years ago when I started this, we talked about having successful trades, right? We could have 3 possible outcomes on a cover call trade. 2 of them are positive, and I'll tell you what, if we've done our due diligence, that third one is less likely to happen, right? Where you buy the stock, the trade goes bad, and you're left holding the share. Well, if you've been following my channel, you know how we handle that. We're going to have that attitude of cup half full. We're going to keep writing those covered calls. We're going to keep doing our research. Well, over the past 3.5 years, using about $225,000 in and out, sometimes I use $225,000, sometimes I don't. I wanted to come up with a number for which I could really gauge all of my returns on, and I could set goals. Well, here we are after 3.5 years. I have generated in covered call profits, stock appreciation, all that stuff we talk about, over $174,000. That is absolutely blowing my mind because if you remember, I used to be a swing trader, day trader that never had success. The cover call strategy, the cash secure put strategy has given me that success. So I want to do it. I want to be motivated to do the next trade. And when I started doing 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trades, man, that success hit me, motivated me. And now I'm putting together months for which I believe in retirement. You know, if I have my noggin and I have my right hand, I can generate real income in retirement. I would love to be able to generate that extra income right here from my laptop, whether I'm here at home or I'm on vacation. Man, that's why the covered call strategy excites me. That's why I always tell you, man, it is time for another red hot covered call video because for me, I'm motivated and I'm passionate. Love it. I love having success. So with that said, I just wanted to show you this. 2020 is on fire for me. Man, I have some trades out there right now that's going to add to this total. and we're only at the beginning of February. I have some stocks I'm not even using right now. Now let's talk about one of the stocks I am trading. Now you know I love my juice, right? I always talk about those higher volatile stocks because I love playing the juice. I love writing that fat covered call with the fat premium, and then as the stock peels off, I'm going to go ahead and buy that back, and I'm going to pocket some $400 and $500. Remember, for me, it's all about the crumbs, baby. $100 here, $200 there. All of a sudden, we're talking real money. And when we add those up over the course of the month, we can generate some real income. Well, here's the deal. With that comes the volatility in which a stock will travel some 30 points up or down. Now, you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I understand that going in with a stock like Roku or Alibaba, Adobe, or Nvidia, where these things can move in 30-point swings. So when I buy a stock like Roku at 150 and it falls now to 124, you see it right there, I'm not worried about it as much as others. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean I don't get into some bad trades. Recently, I did a couple things that I want to share with you. We did the good of collecting a huge premium. We did the bad of buying it back too early, and then we're experiencing the ugly where the stock is just falling off the table. So let's look at where we're at right now with Roku. So this snapshot right here is my total cost basis tracker for Roku. You can see I bought the stock back in December, and I've written some covered calls, I did some cash secured puts, and I'm sitting here with a couple trades open on Roku. Well, my most recent trade on January 8th, it was a nice $10 out of the money strike, and I was able to get $9.55 for that. The stock had rallied that day, and I used that opportunity to write that nice premium covered call. That was a 30-day trade, and I really didn't have any expectation that it would get to my strike price of 145. So what I was looking to do is collect that $9.55 in premium. The stock goes up, the stock goes down, I buy it back, we pocket the difference, and then we look for a couple green days and we do it again. And we're hoping Roku trades in this sideways trade. Up 1 week, down 1 week, we can write these big premiums, and if the stock just moves a little bit either way, I can then buy the option back, pocketing real money, like $300 here or there. And you know I love my crumbs, so a $300 crumb is something I'll pocket. I'll take the trade off the board and we'll look to do it again. As you could see, when the stock was trading about 144, I sold a cash secured put. That was an at the money cash secured put, and I got $11.62 for that. Well, I felt that comfortable that Roku was going to trade in a sideways trade that I probably would not be assigned the shares. I could have bought that cash secured put back for a couple dollars cheaper and take it off the board. Problem is, I didn't, and here we are. That cash secured put expires February 20th. So I'm running out of time here. Probably going to get assigned Roku shares at 144. Now we have earnings between here and there, so you never know. It could be a very nasty trade, or the stock will pop and I'll be able to get out of that trade, probably buy it back or let it expire worthless. We will see. Because look, Roku does not move in 1 or 2 point moves. This thing will pop 10 points either way. Now, this is the trade I want to focus on, though. It's this covered call trade right here, where when the stock was trading at about 135, I wrote that out of the money strike, a 145 out of the money strike. I picked up $9.55 for that. And that trade was going to push my numbers up for Roku. If my shares are taken at 145, man, this trade with that cash secure put would be worth 30% cash on cash since I bought the shares in December. I mean, that is a trade in a small window of 3 months. Unbelievable returns. And those are the returns you can expect to get when you play those high volatile, right? It's risk reward. The more risk, the more reward. Well, that was the good. We're going to get on the chart for the ugly, but let's talk about what happened in this trade. I have not let this go to expiration. And in fact, I bought this option back for $4.50. So right now I have to take that $9.55 off the board. We have to plug in $4.60 because that's all I made. And now when we look at this, it's not looking that good. And in fact, when we take away the 145 number and we plug in the 124.25, you can see right here, this trade resembles my Alibaba trade from last year, where I made all those trades and I only was able to pocket a mere 5%. So this trade went from the good, the bad, because I bought that option back too early. I could have let that 145 strike, which expired February 7th, for which I got paid $9.55. I could have let that expire. I would have collected the entire premium. But because I ended up buying it back for $4.60, that is the bad. I left so much of that premium profit on the table. And this goes back to what I talked about when we talked about the covered call advisor. Last video, we talked about how the covered call advisor lets most of his trades go to expiration, where I do not. And that's probably why he makes more cash on cash percentage gains than me. I wanted to fix that this year. This year, I wanted to let these trades go to expiration. Well, my quick trigger finger didn't let me do that on this Roku trade, and I bought the option back cheaper. This thing would have expired worthless. Now let's look at the chart and let's talk about how I can up your game, okay? That's what this is all about. I show you my trades, we talk about them, so maybe you learn something, maybe you up your game. So using a high volatility stock like Roku, I have to understand the ups and the downs, right? I have to be good with the idea that this thing can swing in 20 points here or there. If I don't get my arms around that, the emotional strain that this trade is going to bring is absolutely going to destroy me. So before you get into any high implied volatility trades, I'm going to tell you right now, you better have your emotions in check. Or make sure you know the stock, you know what you're owning, right? Because we have to buy the shares. Just like me, I bought Roku. And I'll tell you what, I'm stuck owning Roku shares. Now, the one thing you may have missed with my tracker spreadsheet is that my cost basis on Roku is not 144 where I bought the shares. I wrote all those covered calls, and now my cost basis is closer to 110. So I'm still in the chips with this trade. Even though Roku's trading some 20 points lower from where I purchased it, I have now reduced my cost basis with all the covered calls that I've written to now my cost basis is like 110. But see, I don't like using all my cover call premiums for cost basis reduction. I think of it like this. If I'm in retirement, I'm spending that money. So my cost basis on Roku is not 110. It's going to be 144 where I purchased it. Because if I own Roku for the next 6 months, I'm spending all that covered call premium to live life in retirement. So for me, I love the fact that yes, it is reducing my cost basis, right? And when I write that $9.55 covered call, technically that reduces my cost basis. Well, with that said, this is where we're at with Roku. We have a downtrending stock right now. And I'll tell you, I thought it was going to pop. I did not buy into this short 2-3 month window of downtrend. I thought it was going to pop. And when it bounced off of this 2 times, I actually thought we were going higher right here. And to my surprise and shock, no, this thing is hitting lower lows. Look at that resistance right there. And what that's telling me is this is going to be Roku's sandbox unless earnings is big. Okay? So I have to understand that. So I have to understand this play. Now, the one thing I will say is this. Look at that support line right there. That has given me hope. As Roku is trending down, this thing is starting to find a little bit of support right there. With that said, this is what I'm hoping for right here. See that support line? And if that's where we're at right here, then maybe earnings will give me a good result. And I'll tell you, recent stocks that have gotten clobbered before earnings, like AbbVie, they report decent earnings, and Wall Street they've been buying them up off of that support line. Maybe Roku will do that. Look, there's a lot of news in the streaming business, and a lot of Roku's problems recently is the fact that they're trying to strike deals, and hell, they almost lost the Super Bowl, which caused the stock to fall right there. Now, they worked that out, and the stock moved higher. But man, if they don't kick it into gear, this trade can go from the good, the bad, the ugly, and the absolute nasty, for which I'm going to have to sell, and it might even be a red trade. So where am I at with Roku right now? Well, I own 100 shares. They are uncovered. I'm waiting for a couple up days, and I will write that next covered call. It'll probably be a little bit out of the money. I'll look to collect that same $9 premium. I will say this, with earnings coming, man, this could be a shock to the system, because if I think it's going to trade in $20 swings, man, Roku could just as trade from 127 to 107 as it can from 127 to 147. Hey, look, you know me. I love my juice. I love playing these stocks. You know I keep firing, right? I am not going to back away because I do not sit on my hands. Yeah, it sucks when I buy a PSX at 104 and the thing falls to 88. Yeah, it sucks when I bought ADV at 89 and it fell to 81. Luckily with ADV, it's rallied. PSX seems like it's got its footing and it might go higher. Look, we don't always make perfect trades. It's how we handle them in the moment, right? We have our emotions in check. We make good decisions, and then we can make good trades. So I always show you the good. I show you the money. I always show you the good trades, but I want to show you bad trades too. And I show you how I handle them. Now, I've been doing this for years. So for me, my emotions are somewhat in check, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect. So what I hope you learn from this video, that you can buy that higher volatility stock. But when you do that, just enter into that trade, understanding that this thing can swing 10, 20 points either way. Make sure you have your ripcord number. Right? You always want to have that number. I know it's not a good day when you have to pull the ripcord and actually take an L on a trade. But I'm telling you, if you're not comfortable with it, you will save yourself emotional grief that may stick around longer than you think. Look, if you make good decisions, chances are you're going to have more success than failure. Well, I'm going to leave it right there for this week. Look, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something from it. That's what we're here for. I show you my trades, we talk about them, so maybe you learn something. Look, I may not have winning trades all the time and I don't always find myself in great situations, right? I love playing the markets, whether they're up, down, or sideways, the good, bad, or the ugly. Hey, look, before I let you go, I want to let you know next week we have an even better video for which I'm going to talk about a couple trades that I know you're going to be interested in. But look, the only way you're reminded of that is if you subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you get that email notification letting you know I did another red hot covered call video. Hey, look, if you like this video today, do me a favor and bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And before we go, I just want to remind everybody the upgraded CTP dashboard is out. Absolutely love all the support you're giving me and all the people that have signed up. I'll tell you what, I tip my hat and I know you're up in your game. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.